Hi, I'm Jason Gorber for ThatShelf.com, and we're here to look at Joni Mitchell Archives, Volume 3 Highlights, the new box set from Joni Mitchell.
Shelf.
Joni Mitchell, goddess, queen. Once again, continuing the breakdown of much of her unreleased material. There's an entire new re-release campaign. I'm ecstatic. Absolutely one of my top artists of all time. I got to say though, I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm disappointed even before opening this up. I'm disappointed. This is the third volume in the archive series. They're doing sort of a digital release and a analog release. And for volume 1, it was like a CD set that included everything. And a vinyl set that was sort of a highlight. And for that one, because it was her earliest records, the sound quality wasn't going to be very good anyway. I was kind of fine. I was like, okay, the CD version will be what it says. And look, for the Beatles and stuff like that, I'm buying both. Like, I mean, they do that all the time too. They have sort of like a highlights vinyl thing because it just gets ridiculous. So many records, and then you have the digital version, much cheaper, much easier to actually produce. Not cheaper for consumers, but certainly cheaper for them. And obviously, we can listen to stuff on streaming and all the stuff. But when it comes to Joni, especially the second, actually, I'll pull this out. This is what they did as I'm reaching over. It's hard to do while on camera. I apologize. But for the second volume, this is what they did for us. And we've shown this video before, but they did this. Okay, limited edition on her website. But they put out everything from this era on vinyl, and this is an amazing set. I mean, this is truly one of the hearts of my collection. Joni Mitchell Archives, Volume 2, the reprise years, 68 to 71, the sort of prime stuff. This is the stuff up to including Blue. Just astonishing stuff on here. Incredible songs, both live performances, demos, tracks that other people recorded. Just ridiculous. This is truly a beloved set. And I would have loved, personally, if I can do this, you know, it's going on the floor because I don't want to break anything. I would have loved if they would have continued that trend. But the first one, I was like, okay, we're just getting the highlights. But the second one, just do D2C, do a giant box set for lunatics. Make it 1,000 of them, I don't care. But just make it so that we get everything on the preferred format. And many questions about why would you want it on vinyl? Because frankly, if I'm sitting here and actually listening to it, my analog setup is now substantially better than my digital. Plus, it's just a different mode of listening. I grant you, for a lot of this demo stuff, the actual advantages of vinyl playback is often minimal, but on my setup, the vinyl playback will sound better than the digital sound will sound. And the fact of the matter is that it's just ritualistically just better. And I'm simply accepting that. It's all good. I'm a lunatic that went and flew and saw Joni this summer. Exceptional show at the Gorge. And so as she continues the celebration. Plus, this is the era that actually includes Court and Spark. Many people are blue lunatics. Of course, it is amazing. Court and Spark, and especially Shadows and Light, are sort of like my prime adoration of the stuff that she does. I love all the acoustic stuff. I love the early stuff. The reprise stuff is amazing. But Chord Spark is such a heavy record for me. It's really, it's a way that I got into it. I'd already heard the stuff and I thought it was fine. It was a little bit twee. It was a little bit stuff. I wasn't ready for that. But when I got Court and Spark and I understood how deep she was getting into jazz, the Court and Spark, eventually the Mingus stuff, all of that stuff, that's what sort of led me and drove me into an absolute obsession. It wasn't until I was late in my 20s, well, mid-20s anyway, that I actually finally sort of embraced her music, and now absolutely top 5, top 10 artists for me. Ms. Mitchell, incredible songwriter. And it was funny, it was the love of people like, you know, Prince's obsession with her. It was a bunch of people who I realized, I'm like, you know what, there's more here than I'm giving it a chance to. And when he does, he drops in Help Me in the middle of just a quote of it in Sign of the Times. It just had me go back and listen to that. And just honestly, the first 3 tracks of Court and Spark, among the, if not the greatest 3 opening tracks of any record of all time. What's your choice? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, let's crack this open. What do we got? Well, before we crack it open, here we are. Archives Volume 3 highlights the Asylum years. 180-gram vinyl 4 LP set. The journey continues through Joni's previously unmined archives with a revelatory spotlight on a prolific peak from 1972 to 75. Sessions include sessions with James Taylor, Neil Young and the Santa Monica Flyers, and live tracks with Tom Scott and the LA Express. Of course, Tom Scott and the LA Express, the band behind the Court and Sparks sessions. Right from the beginning. Graham Nash, David Crosby session. Amazing. For the Roses demos, a bunch of them. Live at Carnegie Hall, February 72. So this is another Carnegie Hall show. Live at Royal Festival Hall for the Roses session. Court and Spark demos. We have the Piano Suite. We have the Help Me demo. Tonight's the Night. Neil Young session. Raisin Robbery, which he did with Neil Young. And then more Court and Spark sessions, September to October 73. People's Parties, Troubled Child, Car on a Hill, and Bondaria, and then live at Dorothy Chandler Pavilion, which I guess is where the Oscars do take place, sometimes take place, I don't know. Live at New Victoria Theatre, live at Wembley, and then Hissing Summer Lawns stuff. A record that, I like and I don't dig into as much as I need to, and it's something that I want to embrace. Francis Kids on Main Street, it's like super jockey. And getting and all that stuff. So yeah, some great stuff. Let's open this up and see what the records look like. They probably look like a bunch of records. And you're like, why are you doing this? I'm like, I'm doing this so you can share my experience and love of Ms. Mitchell. And what better excuse is there than to take some time out of your day when we're living through these very complicated times and just say, you know what? I want to listen to some Joni and feel good about the world right now. And we all need a little of that sometimes. Okay, we got 4 records, and we got, I believe, a booklet. Yep. So not exactly the biggest book. Oh, we got a booklet, and I hope this isn't going to content warn me. Look, it's a naked Joni Mitchell. Why not? Inside we have more Swimming Joni, and a little bit of a spiel of Cameron Crowe once again writing a little spiel and interviewing Cameron Crowe actually at the show. I have a feeling he is working on a massive documentary about this woman, and that's all going to be coming together at some point in time. Spoiler. So we will see how all of this sort of plays out. Super exciting to deal with. The box is just a regular sort of ye old box, not super thick, containing 4 records. These 4 records are presented, as always, in these sort of paper inners, but inside, look at that, so good. So, yes, you have printed inners, but inside the printed inners, you have polyline sleeves. So, even though that's going to be replaced by my Vinyl Me Please 3mm inners, fact of the matter is that they have been scratched to hell by being put in paper. There's some nonsense on them, but that's just normal dust. They look pretty good. I don't see any particular nudge. I mean, this one isn't the cleanest of records, but I think it's going to do okay, especially after it lives in my degrader, Mark II. That takes a moment to go through there. We still have the bear on the front. Polar bear, I'm going to guess. It's a white bear. She's from Winnipeg. Excuse me, she's from Saskatchewan. Neil Young is from Manitoba. Forgive me, my Western Canadian audience. Right, and then we actually have, so the records sort of work exactly like we would expect. I will show you just the artwork then, now that we know they're polyline sleeve. So here is her, unsurprisingly, tuning yet again. That's the 7/8. We're going, let's start with 1/2. Look at that. Beautiful shot of the Lady and Kenyon, as it were, post-Lady and Kenyon album. But yeah, that's her sort of in the prime of that era. There we are. A very, very iconic photo of her, looking particularly bucolic. And then, wow. Very pouty looking. That's amazing. Pouty looking Joni. But you can see the simplicity of the setup, just the intimacy of the recording. Phenomenal. There we are. Joni, long may she reign. I wish that they had done it all, and maybe one day they will, and maybe Record Store Day will come out eventually with sort of another record of a bunch of other nonsense from this era. I doubt it. I'm just really happy that they're treating her with the respect in terms of her archives that is deserved. The fact that the stuff at least exists, that is at least presented in a way that which is coherent, as it were, and sort of restored for years to come is extremely, extremely pleasing to me. It's my understanding that it was her friend Neil Young that actually encouraged her to do this. So if you look at, she is joining the two icons that have done incredible work with their archives, Bob Dylan, but especially Neil Young, who's been astonishing with the works that he's done to actually create a coherent whole of his entire era of discography. There's so many artists that are deserving of stuff. Yes, the Beatles, yes, the Stones have done a bunch of stuff for what they had, but these artists in particular were at an era where there's so much there that was just not presented, and this can be presented in an extraordinary way, and it is. The Grateful Dead is like the other extreme, where they just like anything, whatever it is, it sort of comes out. But this is done in a curated way that still encourages exploration, encourages discovery, and that's what's amazing about this stuff. Joni, you just hear a song that could be 50 years old. It sounds like it was recorded yesterday. It sounds like it might be your new favorite song of all time, at least for this week. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you think of Ms. Mitchell. Let me know what you think of the set if you had a chance to listen to it. Let us know in the comments. Follow us, subscribe, hit the like button. Go to thatshelf.com and support our writers. That'd be great. Thank you so much for watching. For thatshelf.com, I'm Jason Gorber. See you next video.